Welcome along to another Makita review. This time we are looking at the brushless 12V CXT impact driver versus the old brushed version. We'll compare the two of them. I have purchased this for my wife, well we'll tell her that, to replace this one for her, but really it's because I want this for another video, which, if the planets align, will be out before this video. So let's open her up, take a look at some of the specs and so forth, and then we will compare how much better, if it is better, the brushless one is over the brushed version. Both of these tools have been out for quite a long time now. This is the TD110, this is the TD111. If you are starting out in the world of Makita tools and you want to know the difference between a 12V, an 18V, and a new 40V to see which voltage you should go with, then have a gander up in the top corner here. If you're watching this on a laptop or a computer or a phone, there'll be a little thing up there, or it'll also be in the description. If you're watching on a TV, well, you know. Now the first difference I noticed when taking these out of the box is, hey Makita, what's up with the colour? These colours are very different. Where's the quality control here? This new brushless one is a far deeper blue. This is more green. This is a bit darker and bluer, lighter and greener. How well that will come out on the video. Oh yeah, looks like you'll be able to see that, no problem at all. So I prefer that one, but it's a bit disappointing that the colours are so different. I think they should have got that nailed down by now. The next thing I notice is the size. If we put this one behind, the old one is quite a bit longer. We're looking at probably, what, 20mm? 20mm longer. Width-wise, they look about the same. Height-wise, the brushless is fractionally higher. Weights with a 2Ah battery. The brushed is 1032 grams, just over a kg. The brushless feels fractionally lighter to me. Yes, 974. So about 60 grams different. Not going to make a huge difference, but it's always nice to get a little bit lighter all the time. The other great physical difference is, of course, this one has no clear bumpery thing here, but it also has a black bumper ring. What's that about, Makita? Makita tools need a glow-in-the-dark bumper ring, and it finally has one. Neither one of these, unfortunately, has a single-handed chuck. A single-handed chuck works like this. You just poke it in, done, and you pull the collet to get it out. These two, doesn't work. You have to pull the collet forward to get it in. Not a big deal, you might say, but when you're used to using a single one, it's annoying when you have to use one of these. But it does save a little bit in length because the single-handed chucks are a bit longer, so they can make the tool a little bit smaller and more compact, which is what you're going for most likely when you get a 12V tool. Having said that, look how long the 12V one is compared to the 18V. Still substantially longer. You'd think they'd be able to get this one at least as small as this one, maybe smaller. And the new version of this is even smaller again. That'll be out sometime soon. Keep a lookout for that video. Next up, the features. As you can see, this one has a trigger, forward and reverse, and a lock in the middle, like all Makita drills and impact drivers, and an LED light in the middle there. And that's pretty much it. There is nothing going on down here. Nothing going on up here. It's just a one speed, but of course with a variable trigger. Speed wise, 0 to 2600 RPM and 0 to 3500 impacts per minute. So from one speed fits all to two speeds and an automatic mode. That's an automatic screwing into wood mode, where the tool will start off slow until your screw feels the resistance and then it will speed up. Just helps you set that screw and get it started without losing control if you're not all that handy with an impact driver. You can also turn the light on and off from down here. And this one does up to 3000 RPM and 3900 impacts per minute. So that's an increase of 400 on both of those numbers, impacts and rotation. But are those higher numbers going to relate to higher speed, higher power, that sort of thing? Well, we will find that out very, very shortly. So on S, the slowest speed. Quite noisy. Not as noisy as an 18 volt, but in a confined area such as this, very annoying. I'm going to actually grab some earmuffs. Highest setting. H for highest. To me, that's more the speed I would want. The low speed was a little bit too low. I like to whack things in pretty damn quick. Plenty of power there to keep on driving that through. This is just some pine. Anyway, automatic. See, it started off slow there, and it didn't actually get a chance to ramp up, so quite a bit of power in the tool. But yes, it's just starting to want to ramp up. We need longer screws. Let's try something a little bit longer. There you go, you saw that really take off. Takes a long time to kick in though. Once it does kick in though, very nice. Feels good. This is a much bigger screw. What do we got here? 65mm. That feels quite nice. We'll just drive a couple with the old brushed version. Not that one. That's the oil. That's on another video. Up in the corner. Nice little impact driver, that oil impact. That is designed for making things a little bit quieter than these ones are. So this is just full on, no slow, no medium, no high, nothing like that. It's just all or nothing, but of course variable speed trigger, so you can just so there I started off slow to make sure I got it going nicely, and then I just slowly ramped up the speed as opposed to pulling the trigger full on like that. Although to be honest, I would be more inclined to just pull the trigger and then finish it off slowly at the end. Tell you what, I don't know if there was a lot of difference there. I didn't feel any difference. Let's do a couple right next to each other and see what happens. Both on the highest setting. Brushless, brushed, 3, 2, 1. Okay, the brush did get that in a bit quicker. Bit early in the day to be losing the plot. In the hand, the brushless feels just slightly nicer. Maybe better weight distribution. It's not a lot in it, to be honest. But feeling good in the hand is important, of course. How are they with a batten screw? 100mm 14 gauge batten screw time. They are stainless. Got this brushless version set on its highest setting, and we're just gonna go for it. 3, 2, 1. There you go. Not a lot in it. Maybe, what's that? 10 to 15%, I would say. This one did go on a bit of a bung angle though, so I might just do that again. This time I have the brushless one on the left of screen, brushed on the right. 3, 2, 1. A little bit closer that time. So not a massive improvement in power and speed, but it is there. Can the brushless make any further improvements in the automatic mode? Let's see. 3, 2, 1. No, as you can see, ends up a tiny bit slower. That slow start hindered it in the end, but it almost caught up. So personally, I don't think there's that much of an improvement that I would bother upgrading if I already had this. I mean, if you want the glow-in-the-dark bumper ring, well then, obviously you have to change. But if you just want power, I don't personally think it's worth it. If you want the extra features, however, the features are, well, if you're used to using 18 volt, then putting this one in flat out is still feels slow, so I don't feel it needs a slower speed built into it, especially with the variable trigger. Whereas this one has the slow mode, but it was actually too slow even for small screws. If you were putting in 20mm or less length screws, then it would be handy. If you're doing anything bigger than that, you don't really need that slow mode. So it's all personal choice really on this one. I don't think it's a huge improvement. It's a nice little impact driver. It's comfortable to use. It's a nice impact driver, but if you already had that one, is it worth the upgrade? I don't think so. We will put it up against this one in a future video. The review for this video, we'll have a look at it against this. This will smash it most likely in speed, but this has so many other issues that are not as good as a tool like this. So that was just a quick one, hope it helped. And if you want more Makita reviews, check out my channel, subscribe down below. Heaps of Makita stuff on this channel, heaps of 12 volt, 18 volt, and the new 40 volt. I've got more 40 volt max review videos than anybody else on YouTube, so check that out, and I will see you on another one soon. Thanks for watching, guys. And if you haven't checked out my oil impact driver review from last week, go have a look at that. I'll put that up in there as well and down in there.